Good morning, folks. This is Deb Delapiano, and this is your short take. I just wanted to squeeze a video in here before I get ready for work, because as I go meandering around Twitter, I see a lot of shit I can't believe. So we have social media influencers on both sides of the aisle. And yesterday, late in the day, I was treated to a couple from the left, which is my side of the aisle. And, one of them, and I'm not going to mention any names because these clowns know who they are. They're there to influence you so they can build their brand and build their following, and they can charge you premium to get extra content. Let me just put it this way. If you really cared about this country and informing people, you wouldn't be charging for it. Okay, that's number one. We'll forget that. We'll talk about that some other time. But this person actually said that this is how government is supposed to work. He was referring to the debt ceiling fiasco. This is how government's supposed to work. Both sides compromise, or something to that effect. I am paraphrasing. Let's get one thing absolutely straight here. This whole debt ceiling fiasco is not how government is supposed to work. Do both sides come to the table on issues? And does one side give a little and the other side give a little? Yes, under normal circumstances. But what the GOP did, and make no mistake about this, Kevin McCarthy handed his balls to the MAGA crowd in order to win the gavel, okay? And now he's got to pay off. And he could very well be removed from his seat before this is over. This isn't over yet. What they did was hold the American people hostage, even as they are working on yet another tax cut to trillionaires, which they will pass in the House once this is over. And the fact that it may never go anywhere in the Senate is immaterial. What you need to be aware of is their intent and who they are beholden to. They are not serving you and me and the children of the country and the poor and the needy and the people of color or anyone else. They are serving their masters and their benefactors, okay? They are holding 337 million people hostage for them, okay? A small percentage of the population who pulls the strings in the GOP. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't people funding the Democrats. There are, but it's not even close, okay? It's not even close. The Democrats don't use billionaire dollars to take people's rights away. That's the GOP shtick. So let me tell you something. We either learn from this or we don't. Let me give you some numbers here. The debt ceiling was raised without any problem 8 times under George W. Bush. It was raised without any problem 3 times under Donald J. Trump. The 3 times under Donald J. Trump was by the MAGA crowd, the same crowd that is trying to screw over the American people now. They raised the debt ceiling for them 3 times, so that he could give a $3 trillion deficit busting break to the billionaires in this country, which they're ready and prepared to do yet again. So please don't tell me this is how government is supposed to work. This is not how government is supposed to work. The budget and the deficit should be split from each other. It shouldn't be an issue. We have a constitutional duty in this country to pay our debts. All of this being said, had this gone on further, forget the cuts and what we had to capitulate to this time around. This could have been a total freaking disaster on a global scale. But most importantly, people in this country could have lost their jobs, their houses, everything. There would be more people homeless. And this is all on the Republican Party. Make no mistake about it. Now, we still have to get this passed through the House and the Senate. And if you think the MAGA Republicans are going to make this easy, you can forget it. But I want to make one thing abundantly clear to the people on the left, especially. because they are gullible sometimes. This is not something that was created by Joe Biden. Joe Biden did what he needed to do to stave off disaster. All of these people out there saying he should have just invoked the 14th Amendment, that was a very tenuous solution. Would he do it if he were forced into it? I believe he would. But I believe it would be challenged in the courts. And I say anything that winds up in the hands of the Supreme Court right now is very iffy. They are not to be trusted. They are a loose cannon. They sometimes do the right thing, but most of the time, they are the enforcement arm of the Republican Party. This is not the Supreme Court of even 5 years ago. John Roberts is another one who has ceded control of his little gang of thieves to the 3 MAGA jurists that Donald Trump installed there. So please, don't make this mistake. Don't make this mistake. This is not the way government works, just as the way Kevin McCarthy won his gavel wasn't the way government works. 15 votes. That was a second coup, to be perfectly honest with you. And I believe this was part 3 of the coup. We keep staving this stuff off. You know what? Eventually, it's going to go boom on us. We have a chance in 2024 to get rid of these people. I need people to understand this. 52% of registered Democrats voting will be unacceptable in 2024. It was unacceptable in 2022 at the midterm stage. We never had to lose the House of Representatives. Forget gerrymandering. I don't want to hear it. I know it exists. But to suggest that we have time to fight that in court between now and 2024 with the way the court system works here and with the way the courts have been stacked to the right is absurd. We can overcome a lot of that if we go out and vote. If 70% voted instead of 52% voted, if 80% of Democrats voted, if they bring a big blue fucking tsunami to the polls in 2024, we can get rid of the MAGA Republicans. We went from 147 to 170 at the midterm level. Unacceptable. This needs to stop. All of this shit needs to stop if this country is going to recover and act like a democracy. We have a non-functional government right now, and it's all on the Republican Party. That's it. Now that you got my blood pressure up, I will talk to you all later.